You ready? Yep, recording. If you go to YouTube and see End of Life 1 and 2, you'll see some of the stuff I've been going through. But let me give you a scenario. 1969, I met by fate my wife, who has been my partner for a millennium plus, according to her in my dreams. We were soulmates for many marriages and lifetimes. The military shipped me off as far as they could to the other end of Vietnam to stop me from doing any paperwork on my wife. With a promise of, if I extended 6 months, they would ship me back down with my wife. That was a lie. Thank God to Senator J. Glenn Bell. He got me transferred down, and that unit was going to pull out in a month, so they were transferring me back up south. He stopped it and had to keep me local there. I had to fight, and I was shipped home without my wife. July 4th, 1971. I came home. The headline in the Washington Post was GI Fights U.S. in Vietnam to bring his wife and stepdaughter here. That was September 71. They ran that article. Before I knew it, I had 500,000 GIs around the world standing up and got immigration changed, the service changed, and the State Department changed on foreign marriages by GIs. In October, Jim Vance, News 4 Washington, taped me for an hour concerning this story. General Westmoreland let me out early on a hardship discharge, gave me a lot of extra mustering pay, and gave me a visa to go to Vietnam as a civilian. When I got there, every Vietnamese official had a copy of the Washington Post condemning me, telling me I better watch my back. I had no gun, no protection, and my wife lived in enemy territory. But that didn't bother me. I was determined to get my wife. The U.S. Embassy even threatened me in Saigon. How could I disgrace the USA this way? With this badge of stuff I said about the U.S. Embassy and the State Department. I just kind of ignored it and made them do the new immigration law called a K visa, so I could bring my wife here as a visitor, and if I married her, she could stay. At the end of November, I was able to bring her here. And December 13th of 71, I married her. We finally got this house to find out it was a nightmare. Me and my wife had to fight just to stay here. 1 month, I had a chimney fire. They condemned my home and told me it was I could no longer occupy it because it was county zoning law, even though the fire never damaged my house whatsoever. It stayed in the chimney. We've been fighting just to stay here. When they threw me in jail, calling me an insane Vietnam veteran, baby killer, drug addict, my wife beat up the judge, beat up the courts for 5 days, disrupting the entire courthouse, visited me in jail over 20 times and called me over 30 times in 5 days until a judge relented to let me out on bail. I mean, she terrorized the whole system of what they did to me. Just like I fought from her constantly. I've been fighting doctors to keep her alive. I fought hospice to keep her alive when she was comatose. I've done everything in my under the sun to help my wife. As long as she is coherent enough to understand what's going on, I will keep helping her the best I can. I'm very disabled myself. Now the court took away all my custody of my property, of her property, of everything we own. The county finally got their hands on it. And whether they will dismiss it this Friday morning, I don't know. I told my kids to stay the hell out of it. Now they're applying for guardianship for my wife. They've been fighting on who's going to screw who out of the money. We have decided to donate everything here to the Vietnam Veterans of America, probably. We're drawing up a will right now concerning that, where it could be a veterans' homes for homeless veterans forever. But I'm still working on that. We haven't done, the will says my kids are not entitled to a damn thing. Not one damn thing in this fucking house. I told them to stay out of it. They've been fighting about who's going to inherit what for the last couple of years. They can all go to hell. So, and the court can go to hell no matter what they rule, unless they dismiss the case of guardianship and give it back to my wife, who signed a power of attorney for me, and then me and my wife will live out our lives, and my kids won't even be notified about the funeral. They can kiss my ass. Thank you very much.